Without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome Mayor Bobby Dyer.
Boy, to be introduced by Bert Poole, that is cool. And I'll tell you what, congratulations on taking over and being part of a seamless continuum of excellence and leadership with the central business here. You are by far one of the most profound and successful business entities, I think, not only in the Commonwealth, but this country. And the success is evident. But isn't it great to be in the same room together, okay? And I understand there's 40 people looking at me on Zoom. No, I am not Lieutenant Dribbin from Police Squad. I am the mayor, okay? But once again, I just want to say, we're back. We are back as a city. We are back as a community. We are back stronger and more resilient than we were a couple years ago. Now, I'm honored to be here, right here in the heart of the Central Business District, in the tallest building in the Commonwealth. That's kind of cool. How many of you remember back to New Year's Eve in 1999 when they were talking about Y2K and the Armageddon that was going to happen at midnight and bad things and the country was going to go beyond bad? I recall the city's emergency operations center was activated and everybody was prepared for the worst possible scenario. Thankfully, Y2K fizzled out. And the new year rang in 2000 just brought some really good and notable milestones, a lot of which has to do with what we are here today. In June of 2000, and more noteworthy, Virginia Beach kicked off Phase 1 at Town Center. It started with a 25,000 square foot, 20-story Class A office tower. An additional 93,000 square feet for upscale shops and offices, and more than 8,000 parking spaces. In her remarks, Myra E. Orbendorf called it the most exciting downtown development project in the Mid-Atlantic. And those were words that came to fruition. Now, 22 years later, Town Center is home to more than 800,000 square feet of Class A office space, more than 400,000 square feet of retail space, 27 restaurants, 935 residential units, 412 hotel rooms, and most important, over 4,600 free parking places. Later this year, Town Center will become complete Block 2 office tower, 16-story glass and brick addition, which will add 235,000 square feet of office space to Town Center, along with additional retail and parking for tenants and guests. This tower will provide even more opportunities for businesses and residents to be part of Virginia Beach's central urban core. That sounds enormous, but Main Street feel of Town Center, when you feel the camaraderie and the people getting together, the people that live here, work here, and play here, what a magnificent energy has been created right where we sit right now. Since the opening of Town Center Phase 1, we've enjoyed many other grand openings. The Sandler Center for the Performing Arts, the Westin and several other hotels, Town Center City Club, Zyder's American Dream Theater. And today, in addition to all those wonderful facilities and fabulous and retail restaurant spots, there are spaces for startups to grow, and several colleges have presences here right in Town Center. And even during the pandemic, businesses continue to open and thrive. We are proud of not only of the accomplishments of the central business area, but what is to come. And let me tell you, my friends, what is on the horizon in the city of Virginia Beach. We stand on the threshold of economic growth and development like we've never had before. We always heard of the dream of many that when our children graduate from college, they'll have a job right here. And let me make a, dare I say, a dire prediction. This is going to happen. Our Economic Development Office, which is located right here in the heart of there, we are looking at significant growth in the technology areas, bringing jobs. You know, when you think about the greatness of wind energy off our coast, every day will be Wednesday. Yeah, I had to do that for Joel. And when you think about the cables coming in, the broadband, about the new interesting companies wanting to come here and located in one of the most livable cities in this great nation, we have a lot to be proud of. Now, this takes leadership. As you know, Virginia Beach is a council manager form of government. And Bert Poole is about to come up and introduce to you the individual that is going to take this great city to the next level. When you think about what it takes to run a city of 460,000 people, a 24/7 operation with public safety, education, transportation, everywhere from stormwater to you name it. It's an overwhelming responsibility as it is. But when you bring in an individual that has the foresight and vision to take this great city to the next level, and let's just say this, whatever benefits Virginia Beach anywhere is going to benefit Town Center. Because as we bring in those new companies, can you think of a more livable area than right here for people to come in and settle? As a matter of fact, from what I remember, our city manager, who was about to address you when he first moved to Virginia Beach, lived here for a while. So he experienced the amenities and the quality of life here. But without further ado, I'm going to call Bert Poole back to introduce to you the man, the individual, who is the future and vision of Virginia Beach. Thank you all.
I am very happy to welcome to the podium a fellow Army veteran and our city manager, Patrick Duhaney.
Thank you, Bert. All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Patrick Duhaney. I'm your not-so-new city manager. I think, first, before we get started, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilmember Bellucci, Councilmember Branch, I think Councilmember Tower is on the Zoom meeting, and to the rest of council, thank you for the privilege and the honor to serve on your behalf. The mayor gave me a tremendous introduction, but honestly, the credit goes to council. My job is easy. I just get to navigate the 11 members of council and the mayor and figure out how best to address their policy vision. But when I said, one thing I said in the interview was, whoever got this job, and luckily it was me, they'll be given a tremendous opportunity because the great foundation that's been laid by this council, this mayor, previous council, previous mayors, previous city managers, and the businesses and the people of Virginia Beach. This is an incredible place to serve as city manager. Coming from where I came from Cincinnati, great city, great town, but a lot of systemic, difficult problems. High homicide rate, high shooting rate, high poverty. So many things you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole from. You don't have these issues here in Virginia Beach. What we're trying to do here is to make sure that we maintain the safest city, one of the best ran cities, and continue to be, I think, one of the best cities in the entire United States. So it's always great to start from the foundation that you all have laid the ground for in Virginia Beach. I finally had the privilege of putting my phone down, right? So I got 2 phones. But when I looked around this room, everybody that would be calling me is here in this room, right? So the mayor, the vice mayor, several of my council members, the police chief, the fire chief, the EMS chief, and a lot of my directors are here. So I was like, I could finally rest and actually take in and enjoy the moment. And Jeannie, I doubted what you're really capable of. One of my biggest mottos for my success in life has always been saying less than the mayor. You're the only person that's probably gonna get me to say something for longer than the mayor, right? Because every city manager knows you survive in a job by having less to say than the mayor. But I'm gonna be here longer than the mayor, so Jeannie, I owe that to you. All right, so Mayor Dyer, again, thank you. And everybody else, good afternoon, and thank you again for having me here. As the mayor mentioned, there's already an amazing business history here in the Central Business District for this to be such a relatively young area. To think about all that's been accomplished here in 22 years really puts it into perspective what a special place this is, particularly given where we are today, still in the midst of the global pandemic. Never before has Virginia Beach businesses been faced with more challenges than we've experienced as we move through another year of the pandemic. The pandemic has proven that we are resilient. Many of you have spent the better part of the last 2 years making adjustments to your operations and learning to adapt to new ways of doing business in order to survive during the pandemic. And I want you to know that city leadership appreciates your resolve and commitment to our community. Despite having to navigate one of the most difficult periods in history, the mayor and city council approved funding to provide assistance to businesses and residents to help them through the pandemic. Financial assistance was made available through relief programs for the city services bill, the real estate and personal property tax bills, through grants for arts, cultural and community organizations, and through the CARES Act funded business assistance program, with more than $20 million of funding from the city. The Virginia Beach Pandemic Relief Partnership, or VB Relief for short, provided essential resources to residents and businesses. VB Relief was a collaboration of the United Way of Southampton Roads, the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia and the Eastern Shore, the Hampton Roads Workforce Council, and List Hampton Roads. In addition to providing access to food and financial assistance for housing, utilities, and household bills, medical, and childcare for individuals, VB Relief helped enroll 329 participants in workforce training programs. 181 individuals obtained industry-recognized credentials, awarded grants to 188 local nonprofits, and incredibly, 773 businesses received $10,000 grants from the city of Virginia Beach. Through VB Relief, over 750,000 service contacts for assistance were made, and the city invested more than $20 million back into the community. The local business community has a stake in the continued collective success of our city, and it was extremely important for city leadership to help out when it was needed the most. Although the threat of the pandemic still remains with us today, the city continues to support the many businesses that are so vital to the city. One of the most, and these businesses help make Virginia Beach one of the most desirable places in the country to live, play, and to do business. We're proud that in addition to the many big name retailers and restaurants found within town centers, this is also where residents and visitors can find an eclectic mix of small businesses that continue to contribute to the thriving Main Street vibe of the Central Business District. Small businesses fuel the passion of the entrepreneurs who own them. They provide goods and services to the community and contributes to our local economy. In September, with major support of the mayor and city council, we celebrated the opening of the Hive right here in Town Center. As you all know, the Hive is a collaborative workspace where entrepreneurs can connect with resources and find the support and the tools they need to grow their businesses. It's designed to host business forums, provide co-working space, startup training, and to be a center where partnerships and collaboration among companies and entrepreneurs happen. Small, women, and minority-owned business certification info sessions were regularly hosted at the Hive throughout the year, facilitated by representatives from the Commonwealth and also from our city's purchasing division. These sessions were designed to assist local businesses with becoming SWAM certified to participate in state and city procurement opportunities. Because in Virginia Beach, we support the success of all businesses in our city, one thing that sets our city apart from other cities in the region is our ability to think forward and truly understand in many ways the future is just as important as it is today. Although the pandemic has affected nearly every aspect of our lives and our business, it has not deterred us from our near and long-term economic development goals for the future of our city. In alignment with the vision and the strategies of City Council, we continue to recruit businesses from abroad and to grow them in Virginia Beach. We've successfully opened an international incubator in 2021. The incubator allows international companies to set up in Virginia Beach easily and assist them with the resources they need to expand in our community. The first tenant is Chorus Intelligence, a UK headquartered software company providing data analytics to law enforcement agencies. And we look forward to welcoming more international businesses and companies into Virginia Beach. Another opening that occurred in 2021 was a Virginia Beach Bio Accelerator. This 5,700 square foot facility includes shared lab space, conference rooms, and offices for both international and domestic startups and growing companies. Virginia Beach is poised to become a hub for the biomedical and life sciences industries, and the Accelerator will allow industry experts to nurture these companies and help them grow to eventually create new jobs and provide breakthroughs in medicine. City leadership also recognizes the central role that renewable energy generation will play in the global economy of the future. Virginia Beach is positioned to become one of the main offshore wind energy hubs, and the city has been aggressive and proactive in preparing the industry's success here. Last year, 4 new offshore wind companies established locations within the city: Seajax, Traumaresis, Avangrid, and Ørsted. And we're actively working with additional companies and anticipate a large cluster to grow within our city. Additionally, in partnership with Tidewater Community College, the mayor and city council, with tremendous foresight, appropriated $1.9 million to purchase offshore wind training equipment that will support the industry's workforce development here in Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads. The city has also entered into a memorandum of understanding with the New Anglia Local Enterprise Partnership in East England, an area known for its advanced offshore wind industry. This MOU will facilitate the collaboration between respected academic institutions and relevant skills programs that contribute to the creation of a skilled local workforce in sustainable and high-value employment. Just as we recognize the importance of renewable energy sources for the future, we also need to provide future protections for our homes and businesses. In November, the city received a huge vote of confidence from citizens with their approval to authorize $567.5 million in debt to fund the design and construction of 21 Phase 1 projects for the city's flood protection program. This program is a multi-generational investment that safeguards our homes and businesses from the effects of recurrent flooding. With strong advocacy from the mayor and city council, more than 72% of our residents voted yes to the flood protection program bond referendum. Again, 72% voted on a tax increase in Virginia Beach. Part of what helped us to get the word out about the importance of the flood protection program was the hard work of the employers in the CBDA, who in the weeks before the election distributed flood protection program brochures and sample ballots to all of their employees. Thank you all for reaching out and helping us to move forward on this plan that would help protect our homes and business properties for generations to come. The assist on the flood protection program demonstrates how CBDA leadership remains focused and informed with the major projects that directly affect this district, including the I-264 Independence Interchange Project. This project will bring improvements to the main high-traffic gateway into the Central Business District, and it will see improvements that will alleviate congestion and increase safety. The Central Village Cleveland Street redevelopment. The Central Village District is the area between Independence Boulevard and Witchduck Road, and it's prime for redevelopment. A new road project planned for Cleveland Street, which intersects this area, begins the transformation of Central Village to a more pedestrian-friendly environment that offers new opportunities for mixed-use development. Another major project coming to this area is the Pembroke Mall Reimagining, which is a $200 million private developer plan to transform Pembroke Mall into a mixed-use destination with residential, shopping, and dining options. There are also projects underway that enhance our quality of life in a different way, such as the Delia Creek Greenway Trail System. This corridor of protected open space provides a scenic link between town center and the surrounding residential neighborhoods. The original vision for this greenway was included in the Central Business District Master Plan back in the 1990s. And now, construction of Phase 3 of the greenway is due to begin in the spring. The Delia Creek Greenway will also connect users to the proposed Virginia Beach Trail. This is a 12-mile-long paved, shared-use path that would run the width of the city, east to west, from the oceanfront to Newtown Road. Additional funding sources for the build-out of this trail are currently being explored. Everything that I've mentioned here today contributes to our mission to make Virginia Beach the preferred coastal community. Throughout the relatively young history of Town Center in Virginia Beach, city leaders were never afraid to set high goals, knowing that success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're not done yet. We have to continue our commitment to attract new businesses, new jobs, new lifestyle choices, and new residents. I'd like to thank the Central Business District Association and all of the sponsors of this event, Mayor Dyer and the City Council and all of you, for partnering with the city to make the Central Business District and Virginia Beach the success that it has become today. Thank you.